Hello everyone, it's Cirque, and today I'm going to be showing you what's inside the special Earthmate edition of Rune Factory 5. I intended to do this unboxing when it first came out, but as you can see from the contents of my channel, that didn't really work out. I had a little bit of technical difficulty trying to figure out how to make videos, and it took a little bit longer for me to get started than I thought it would. But with the game being a little bit over a year old, with its first anniversary of release having just passed recently, I thought that this was the perfect time to unbox it now. Now, the first item I'd like to show off isn't from the special edition itself, but is this cute little woolly keychain that I got because I pre-ordered directly from Xseed. It's so cute, it's soft, it has a nice plastic hook that is easy to put it on things and take it off. And the embroidery of the face is beautiful. I just love this woolly, and if I hadn't been keeping the box for my game set aside for when I had time to unbox it, I probably would have been carrying him around with me everywhere. Woolies are usually the first animal or the first monster that you can tame or fight in Rune Factory games, and I did tame 2 woolies as my first 2 when I played Rune Factory 5. I have a white one and a pink one, I believe. So I love them. I take really good care of them, brush them every day, and try to talk to them so that they'll love me. And I hope that this little woolly loves me also. Moving on to the box itself, we have this beautiful cover art with the 2 main characters you can choose from, the male and the female, and a couple of the love interests. I know his name's Riker, but I forget off the top of my head what these 2 are named. I will look them up when we open the box later. And then the title of the game and the logo are here in bold letters, so it's easy to read. And this little rainbow plant shape in the background is adorable. I really like the way that they designed the logo for this game. And I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but this box is a slightly iridescent as well, has a nice shine. And then on the back we have a bigger cast shot of Ares and Alice, and I'm not sure, just glancing at it, if these are all the bachelors and bachelorettes, but it's quite a few of them at the very least. And we also get a little preview of what is in our box. So let's turn it back over and open that baby up. Alright, and then the first thing we see when we open it up is the art guide for Rune Factory 5. It has some nice information on all the characters. So we have, we have Ares and Alice, who again, those are the 2 characters we can pick from to play as, depending on if you want a more masculine or feminine appearance to your character. And then we have all of the bachelors and bachelorettes first off. Let me see. Alright, so the ones on the cover whose names I forgot were Scarlett and Lucy. So they're both adorable. I absolutely love the way that all of the characters are designed and all their outfits. I will admit, Murakumo is the one that I'm currently have a preference for when I play, but I'm definitely going to replay the game many, many times to see what all the different characters are as husbands and wives. And then once we get past them, we also have some of the minor characters, some children, some family members of some of the bachelors and bachelorettes, just some random people around town. The way that they populate all the towns in Rune Factory and also in the Harvest Moon / Story of Seasons games has always been a high point for me. Oh, and this page is all of the different children you can get, all of the options you have for base names, and you can have up to 3 children in the game, and both the boy children and the girl children each have 3 different designs that they can have depending on what order they're born in, I believe, or maybe it's random. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't gotten far enough in the game to have children yet, but they're shown blonde here, but I'm fairly sure that depending on who your spouse is might change the appearance. Although, now that I think about it, that might not be true, because you'll have to remind me in the comments, because I can't remember off the top of my head, but either Rune Factory 2 or 3, I think it's 3, the children became playable characters for the 2nd generation, so they had those children look the same regardless of who you married. But because these children are not playable, they're just, once they're born and grow up, they're there. I think they might change in appearance depending on who their parent is, but again, I haven't gotten that far yet, so I'm not sure. But like I was saying, I always loved how populated the towns are, how many options you have of just people to talk to, people to befriend, people of all ages. It gives it a very nice feel that there are so many different ways to interact with the game outside of just the farming and the dating and marriage. Unlike a lot of games where maybe like 2 or 3 NPCs that you can't romance or that aren't as important to the story as the others might get art, but a lot of times there's generic. And even the random NPCs that you see walking around the town, I've noticed, have unique designs, so that impressed me when I saw it, and it definitely made me like the game a lot more. And then we have some cute little chibi art of the characters and some of the monsters you can encounter in the game, and the different dragons and a 9-tailed fox. And then here we just have some art from around the universe. I'm pretty sure these are specifically from Rune Factory 5, but it's been a while since I've flipped through this, so maybe there's 1 or 2 pieces of artwork from other games, but just give you a little glance at some of those. And then we also have the keyframes from the opening, which I think is very fascinating. It's interesting to see how they planned out the animation. And then some more just fun artwork, some promotional images that they released leading up to the game. Oh, and the 15th anniversary art with all of the playable characters and some children here and there, and a few of the wives. Since the beginning of the series, you could only play as the boy characters, which were Raguna for the first game and Rune Factory Frontier. Kyle, I think his name is, and then Maze. No, not Kyle. Maybe Kyle. I feel like the first 3 had food names, but I can't remember what his name is. Maybe it was only the first 2 that had food names. But yeah, so that's the art book. That was probably one of the items I was most excited about, because my best friends and I have been playing Rune Factory since the first one came out. So getting to see some of the behind-the-scenes artwork and getting to learn a little bit more about the characters in the game before I even started playing was very exciting. And I know that before I started playing the game, when I was waiting to see if I would have time to film it before I played it, I still flipped through this book many, many times, just trying to decide who I wanted to romance first and just appreciating the artwork. So I just can't say enough about how much I love getting art books and guidebooks for games. And that's one of the things that I miss the most about digital games is that you don't get these beautiful books to just appreciate the way the game looks, even when you're not playing it. And then underneath that, we then have a metal case for the game. It's shiny in the background with the character standing on, I believe, a mountain trail, if I can see it correctly. And then in more matte printing, we have Aries and Alice, and then Riker, Fuka, I think her name was. I might be confusing her with someone else, but I think her name was Fuka. Let me just glance at the guidebook again. I thought I just saw her, but if I can't find her in a couple seconds, I'll just move on. Yeah, Fuka, I was right. Yeah, Fuka, and then some of the other characters, Priscilla, I believe her name was, and the Princess and the Knight, whose names I forget off the top of my head, and I don't want to bore you. Oh, Reinhardt, and can I find the princess quickly enough, or should I just skip over her? Beatrice. So yeah, so we have the matte artwork, and again, it's very beautiful. I love the quality. And on the back, we just have a sky and Rune Factory 5 printed in matte ink. And then when we pop it open, we have the official Seed Ranger handbook, which is our guide to the actual gameplay itself rather than the characters that the art book had. And I love the way that they set it out as if it is the guidebook you receive when you first come to Rigbarth, rather than just having it be a out-of-character guidebook. It really gives the guide an extra step of fun that is written as if you are Aries or Alice rather than just a random person looking down on them. So let's flip through there quick. Give you a look at that. And something I thought was really cute the first time I saw it was that they even have a Beast Speak Basics in the appendix, so you can see some of the words that Fuka uses in the game, since she doesn't really know much. I can't remember if they have a special word for it, common, human. Fuka doesn't speak the same language as most of the characters, so they have a nice little guide to some of the common words she uses. And then there's an appendix for some of the creatures that you can befriend and tame. And there's a little Seed Ranger's pledge in the back, which I still haven't signed yet, but I would not hesitate to sign a Seed Ranger's pledge if I found myself in Rigbarth for real. And then I put my game back in here so you could take a look at it. There's a cute little woolly printed on it again, and that's nice. And then on the inside of the case, there's a beautiful artwork of Rigbarth itself, an overview of the town that is just, it's gorgeous. Whoever they had doing the art for this game and the promotional materials was very talented. And then down at the bottom, we also have a Melodies of Norad CD, which I believe is songs from the entire, yes, it's songs from the entire series, celebrating the 15th anniversary of the game. So we have we have songs from every game, from Rune Factory 1 to Rune Factory 5, as well as the 2 Wii games, Frontier and Tides of Destiny. The CD is nice and reflective, so it might be a little hard to capture it, and you'll see my phone in the background. That's unavoidable, but as long as I can get the light to hit it correctly so you can see, there's also a very nice plant pattern. I don't know what kind of plant that is, but it's leafy with some small buds, I believe. The back has one of the dragons you can use to farm on. And I didn't put this out on the front, but we have our friend Fuka here, who is definitely one of my favorites of the females. Maybe not my first pick for a wife, but definitely my first pick for a friend. I always make sure to stop by the restaurant and give her a fish meal just to get on her good side and talk to her, even if I feel a little odd romancing her just because she does have a bit more of a juvenile personality. But with that, we come to the end of the box. So, oops, I forgot to put my Ranger guide back in the case. Also, I forgot to mention this when I originally filmed this video, but the Earthmates edition of the game also comes with 13 exclusive outfits that you can change Aries and Alice into from the closet in your room, based on the 12 marriage candidates from Rune Factory 4, as well as the Ghost Pico. These outfits are currently scrolling across your screen with labels for who the original wearer is for each one, and I can say from experience that it adds an extra layer of fun that I get to change my character's clothes every morning if I wish to, right from the start of the game. And that, of course, brings us to the end of our unboxing of the Rune Factory 5 Earthmate Edition box. I would like to thank you so much for indulging me and letting me unbox this game for you, because I'm so excited about it. I just love this series so much. So even though it's a bit late, I'm still so glad I got to unbox this for you in the first place. I would like to give a small shout out to my best friend, Mystic Fairy, who has her own YouTube channel that I'm going to link in the description just because she's my best friend. We grew up together, and she's the one that got me into Rune Factory. So the fact that I can show this game to you in the first place is in part thanks to her for just telling me about the game and talking to me about it all these years, ever since we find out about the very first Rune Factory. And as for you, my dear readers, I wish you a happy and good day. I hope your crops grow well and your favorite bachelor or bachelorette gives you lots of affection and agrees to marry you quickly. And I hope to see you again soon.